So in this video, I'll be showing you exactly how you can create, update, read, and delete using React. And in previous video, we've shown how you can register a user and also log in a user, okay? And this is for educational purpose. We don't do this in production because we are storing our content in local storage. And local storage is not where you can store sensitive and vital information of any user for anything. So here we already have users. So we are storing our users in local storage here. We already have like 3 users, so we want to add products as a key name, and we can store our products there. So let's see how that works. And this actually works because if you log in, user logs into the dashboard, you can see log out, you can log the user out. And when you log in, you can go to home page, and this is where we'll be displaying our items, our product items, and this is our home page. All right, you can see welcome to Dashboard Kings. This is just for educational purpose only. So we'll have a form here that we can use to create the products, and we'll display the products in our home. So let's see how that works. If you go here, we have our global context where we have products. This is what we have currently. And storing items here, we'll lose it anytime we refresh the product. Anytime we refresh the page, we'll lose everything stored in this global state. So what I need to do now is on our reducer, we have an action called set create product. This is actually what creates product and store them in our global state in products. However, when we refresh the page, we surely lose these values here. So we need to store them somewhere where they can be sitting permanently. So we're using local storage for educational purpose. So what we can do here, you can come here to create the create product action and write a function that stores this product in local storage. So you can say const get stored product. So let's get the product from this local storage first. So you can say local storage dot get item, and the key name is product. All right, so we want to be sure that we got something. Now, if there is no get stored product, so if we don't get anything called stored product, that means it is the first time this is being stored on the local storage. So we need to attend to that. So we can see if we don't have it, we can store it. So we can say const store products. You can say it's equals to local storage dot set item, and what we are storing is product. So products is the name of the item, and we want to store the product, and the product we want to store is going to be an array. It's going to be JSON.signify, and we want to store an array that will now be for action dot payload. Okay, so that has been specified. The action dot payload has been specified. Now we have this item stored on local storage. So we can remove this one. We basically don't need it. Remove this one. And this is equals to an empty array. So immediately we finish storing it here. Since we finished storing it here, we can say temp array temp product is equals to stored product. But remember, the stored product is going to be passed. So let's pass it. So say JSON pass. So temp product now will simply be, we can do it here. So we can say temp product JSON.signify, and we are targeting an array going to be action.payload because it's the first time we are having this. So, and this is going to throw error for sure. So we can just create a different variable for this. So we say const stored product. So now we have this. So we can now store this one here. So we can remove this. Store this because we've stored this now. So to get this working, we have to get the item. So we can say get the item now, cons get stored item, items equals to local storage dot get item. So we want to get everything that we have in now local storage, okay, item, and we are looking for products, right? So we have this now. We can now pass this here. Okay, so now we have 10 products. So we're getting the item from the local storage. So if there is no field called product, then it means this is the first time it's being created. Okay, so we don't have it here, so we have to create it. So we created this stored product, but we have to signify it because local storage does not store an array. So you have to use JSON does stringify method to make it a string. All right, then you use local storage or set item, then products, which is this one, then stored products is what we have signified here. Then it's now stored in your local storage. Good. We also want to put it in our global states. Okay, so to put in our global states, we simply have to now pass temp products, which we had access here, then pass it. This item has been passed. Then we can now pass temp products to our global context here. This way, we have this item in our local storage. Also have the item on our global state. So we can easily access it on our global state, and it's only when it's not available on our global state that we can check our local storage. Good. So this simple logic. So that's what we've done here, and this whole of this code works if we don't have any key called product in the local storage. That means it's the first time we're creating this. However, if we have key products found in the local storage, so that means we have something, we have an array there, we need to push an item into the array, and that's what we need to do. So we can come here and say else. We can say else. All right, in this else state here, we can, because we already found an item here, so we just need to pass it. So we can say passed item equals to JSON dot pass, and we put this here. Okay, so we've passed it now, so it's an array. It's an array, then we can push an item into it. So what do? We can say let's pass item. So we can say pass item dot push because we want to be specific what this is going to be. So it's going to be product as product attribute array. So we can say dot push. So we'll be pushing action dot payload. Okay, the product object we created will be pushed here. So now we have this. So we can signify it again. So we can say local storage dot set item product. So there's products, and we can say JSON dot stringify string, and then we can put pass item in it. So we've stored this back, and so we can then put this one. We can say our temp products would be equals to this. All right, so this way we pass this, I will pass into this to here, so we can have it stored in our use context. Okay, this event unfortunately happens when we call the set create product. All right, so at this point we declare an empty string here, an empty array here, then we look for the key item called product in local storage. If we don't find, that means we've never created it at all, because that's exactly what's going to happen first time we do this because we don't have a key called product in local storage. So we've not created it at all. So we have to create it. So since we don't create it, we just come here to create it, saying that we are stringifying it using action.payload, which is an object of product coming in from where we are creating the product. Then we are putting array of product. It's an array here. So it's the first time we're creating the array into the local storage, but it's stringify. Then since we've simplified it, when I said local storage set item is going to be product, and whatever we simplify is actually what we are passing there. So this is an event where we now be able to have array of product in the local storage. So after doing that, we also needed to store that in the local storage. We don't really need to get item anymore. So because this is what we stored. All right, so you can just pass the stored product into here. Good. Then we can remove this one. We can just remove this one. No, we don't even need this in any way. We can just pass this. Yes, to make it more efficient, we don't really need this. We can just pass this because it's the first time. So it's also the first time we'll be storing that in the global context. So just pass this and that's it. Then if we already have item, we found a key called product, then we just need to push a product object into the array there. So simply pass it. After passing it, then we push an item into that action.payload is the object of product. We'll push it there, then local storage or set item product, then simplify it again and save it into the local storage. For the temp product, it's just going to be exactly what we have because we got it pass item, which we used to get this one. All right, so exactly that's it. So temp product will now be push payload. So we can remove this. Okay, so we just have this temp product. It's going to be this one that we passed from what we got from local storage. So we have this now. So this should work for creating products. Now we've done this, let's go to dashboard and create a form that we use to create the product. So let's go to dashboard, this dashboard. So we'll create a form here. Let me see somewhere around here. So div. So we want to create a form. So let's say class name, create flex column, right? Width for full width. So and what are the fields we need for the form? Let's check out our context. In our context, for products, let's check out the items we need for products. So let's go to our TypeScript file. Let's search for initial state. Then we have products. So this product attributes. So what are the things we need for product? We need product name, description, price, availability, image, quantity, and ID. Good. So these are the fields we need to create. So let's create an array of this. Let's create an array of this to make it easy. So let's come here and say export type products. Let's call it create product attributes. So it's going to be equals to this. So product name. So this is going to be product name or description. Description or I don't think I want to be adding ID. So we have this now. So let's go to our data file and create an array that we can use to map. And so export const create product data is going to be a type of this. an array of it, of course. Then we'll have this. So we want product name as the first item in the array. However, we want to make them capital letter, right? Description, price, availability, image, quantity. Okay, so have something like that, then we can have products. So product of description, we have image. So this is wrongly spelled. So let's go back to image. Image. Let's check out quantity, availability, and then price. Product name, we want something like this. So let's go back here and just separate them. Okay, so we have this now. We can just take this great product instead of repeating the form over and over again. We just take this one. You can come here and say this, port it, then map, say item, say product. Index. So we have something like this, then we can go ahead and have a div. Class name is going to be full width, flex column. Then the key is going to be index. So this is just for us to create a form. This is usually how I create my form to avoid repeating form inputs. So let's locate the form components, input component. So we have this input component. Let's check it out. Input component has input component. So let's just import input component. Okay, so we have this MDP tag to display the name. So it's going to be product dot. Oh, we don't really need to do this. We already have that in the input component. So let's just render the input component, import it, display it here. So here we can have display text. So here we can point on product. Don't change. I'm going to say handle product inputs, and we need custom data or payload, something payload. So payload can just be, let's just pass products in it. All right, so let's write this function. Remember, this is the input, so the payload is, or the text is the argument. This onChange is the function, onChange function that is coming from here. That's the onChange function that I passed here. So the onChange function is going to pass the function I'll write here, and in the input it was invoked. So just create the onChange function. So say const this, and we access it here. So if we go back to the input component, you can find out that the onChange that you passed was actually invoked here. So you can simply come here and say if no onChange, then you can return. All right, so good. So when the onChange that you passed as a function is simply got invoked, then text was passed into it. This text coming from here. All right, and payload, the data you sent also from your endpoints passed into it. So you have access to it here. So we have access to the first argument is going to be the text. It's going to be the string. And second argument is going to be payload. It's going to be unknown, but actually I'm expecting a string, so I can say string. Okay, so let's look at these are the two. So the first argument here is the text, and this is the payload. The payload is actually what I passed here. So I just pass the name here. So I use it to write I use it to write conditional statements for updating the input field for creating products. All right. So here you have still showing here. Let me see. Type is missing. All right. Type is a type of text. So let's see. It's good. So you can see product name, description, image, and quantity, availability, price. All right. So it's actually way down. So let's see. Maybe we should just take it here. Okay, so because this video is not for CSS, so I had little CSS issues, so I had to pause the video and fix it. So this is what I want to do. So here we can create the product. So this is where we create our product. However, we don't know when product are created. We can actually see that on the local storage. Okay, so we'll come to that later. So but let's see what goes on here. So let's minimize this and let's go to console.log. So what's going on here? When user type in here, what happens? So let's go here and say console.log. Let's check out what is text and what is coming from payload. All right. I'll comment this out. So when user type here, so what are you seeing? You're seeing here product name because this is the one. Remember we pass payload here. Payload pass product. So whatever user type here, whatever you type is what is showing you. So if I come here for description, I type CE description. You can see description exactly. So that's exactly what's going on here. So this is where we can use condition to write code that can help us update the state. So let's create the use state for products. All right, we've not created the state that will store the products that we are writing. So let's say cons, and we're going to have an array. So call it create, or let's say reg products set reg products, and it's going to be use state. And here we want to be product attributes. Okay, so here we have this. So we can say product name, empty string, description, empty string, price, empty string, what else? Image, empty string, what else? Quantity, empty string, availability, empty string, need ID. What else? Availability string not equal to boolean. Okay, false. String is not available to boolean. ID is going to be empty string. Was that ID is string not able to, okay, number. So let's put it as 0. So we've created the use state for the product is what we use to register the product, because this is exactly what we need to provide as action.payload to register the product. So we have this now. So let's go here and do what we want. So we can come here and say const payload. No need. So we can say, instead of saying it's a string, it is actually this. So we can just say it is this, because remember this is exactly what we have here. So we just say it is this one. So payload, we're expecting payload to be all of these names here. All right, so we can now say if, we can use the if statement. Let's just use if payload is equals to product name. So we know that the user is actually typing inside the product name. So we can say set grep product, we will just take everything we have there, products, then we'll take a product name, then we say it is text. All right. Else if payload is equals to description, then one of these is typing inside the description. So say set rec, and we'll say rec and product will type targeting description, so it is text. Okay, then we can just return. So else if payload is equals to image, the user is typing inside the image. So I'll just copy this. Well, there are better ways to write this, but for educational purpose, we are okay with this. Then we say image. Else if payload is equals to availability, then we will target availability as then if text is available, then true, else false. Also, because the text here is actually a string and not a boolean, and the value we have here, availability requires the data type to be a boolean. So what we can do is we can say if text is equals to, this can work, but it can actually be problematic. So you can say if text is equals to true, so we expect it to pass value true to it. If it's equals to true, then we will pass true as the boolean value here, else we'll pass false. Okay, so when you're creating it, so that means on this space here we should pass true as a value. In production setting, we can just write a check to ensure that what we are passing is string true. If it's not true or false, then we'll reject it. Okay, in the production environment, something like that. So that's availability. Then we have other one. We say else if payload is equals to price. Then one of the users is typing inside the price field. Then we are going after we'll go to price, and we are going to pass text to it. And finally, else if payload quantity. All right, I think quantity is number or something like that. So let's check number. So we are looking after quantity. All right, so it's a string. So okay, so we'll just pass the value there. So that's it. This way we've created the field. So let's check it out. So come here, we need to go to, let's increase this to 1, 2, 4. So let's go to console.log, and here let's have access to console.log. Let's go to rec product. Rec product as the state we created that stores these variables values for the product rec products. All right, so let's come here and say let's say iPhone 14 Pro Max. So let's see what happens in our, so we can see we have iPhone 14 Pro Max as the name of the product. So what else? In description we can say so we can just copy and paste any text here. Usually you can use text area for this. All right, so maybe I should change it to text area, maybe, but this can work with text area, but let's just leave it this for now. You can change this to text free area actually. So for image, you will need an image. So we can go to place like pixel and just select an image, any image we like for our product. So for this, we could just right click and copy image address. Then we can just paste the image address here. Okay. For quantity, we can say it is, let's say we have 20 pieces of it. Availability, let's use the word true. And price, let's use the word, okay, we are dealing with dollars, let's say $100, right? So let's check how this looks like in our rec product array. So you can see we have every item we've created. Every item we created is just here. All of them are here. So we can use create to now push this item into local storage. If you look at it here, we don't have, if you look at it here, we don't have the products in the local storage. So we can use this to create it. So let's go do that. You have this button here that creates. So let's write a click function handle create product. So we don't have the function, so let's create this function. Cause this, and we, right, that's it. So when we click here, simply takes everything we have inside rec products and push it into the and call this function. So let's call dispatch, and dispatch method will have a type, and the type is going to be create product, set create product, and it requires a payload. So payload, and the payload is going to target rec product inputs. So we can pass value here. So value here, we would assign the values that we have here. The other ways we could do this, but this is an array, another one is an object. So we can simply just go through the hard way. Product, if product equals to product name, equals to product name, then we will be targeting rec product dot product name else if product is equals to, let's say, description, then we'll be targeting rec product dot description. Okay. All right, so let's complete it. So if product is equals to availability, I'll be targeting rec product dot availability. So if product is equals to image, then we'll be targeting rec product dot image. If product is equals to, this is not the best way to do this. A better way to do this, then we'll be targeting rec product dot price. All right. If product is equals to quantity, and we're targeting rec product dot quantity, also an empty string. Okay, so this way we can have control of the inputs and we can clear them when we are done updating. So we can go back here, get rec product equals to rec product, right? Can I use a let here? Let. Then I can come here and say rec product dot id is equals to get product plus 1. Okay, so I can say set rec product and just pass get product into it. So let me see if that would just update this to get products. If it will update this update we did here. And that's what I just want to check. If it will update instantly, then we just can delete this. Then after doing this, we just want to clear the entire field. So let's clear this. So we can come here and say set rec, just clear the field, right? So let's see if that would work. So let's check the states, the product. Then we can check the local storage directly from here. Okay, so we have this now. So let's just create this. Perfect. Clear this. And you can see we have a product. We have product now. Okay, so it actually has the updates instantly, so we can delete this. There's no need for this since this what we did here has the updated states instantly at this point of action. So we're okay, but you can see register twice. It registered this twice. It registered it twice. So we need to find out why it's registering it twice. So let's check. So we can go back here to our result function and see what's going on here. So we said if we find this, okay, we just need to find a way to prevent this from registering again. So if we find this, if we don't find this, then we go ahead and create action.payload. Let me also say, let me see this one. You also registered this one twice on the, this is for the states. So let me refresh this. Let me also delete. So going back to the dashboard, I can just, I don't want to just comment this out. So I won't stress writing this over and over again. So we can have product name as iPhone 14 Pro Max. For description, let's just copy this text from here. For image, let's just find this image here, copy image address. Quantity, let's just say 20. Availability, let's just say, okay, this is not editing. So I need to find out why this is not editing. Change it. All right, because it's already false, so that's it. So for availability, I can just remove this one. Let's see. Product availability. So if product equals availability, so we can remove. So we can remove this one. So it's not going to be controlled. All right. So all right. So I just created the bug. I just had to change the boolean value to string and then work with it. So I just changed this. Please change this from availability that used to be boolean, change it to string. It was causing some problems. So change it to string. Once you change to string, make sure you also attend to all of these ones. Put this back and make sure you also change this one from boolean, which was value to string now. Then change this to string instead of boolean that it was before. So that's all. That's what you need to do here to get this working. So we need to find out why it's creating double. So let's just say iPhone 15 Pro Max. And then for description, let's just go here and get this text from Lorem. Image, let us go to pixel and get this copy image address. Availability, let's just say true. Price, let's say 100. All right, so let's create. I'll leave this text. I'm not clearing them anymore. Let's see product. So it's creating twice. So something is definitely wrong here. Alright, I'm unable to trace why this is double creating local storage. So what I want to do is I will lift out everything I have here for storing item in the local storage and take it into the create function itself. Okay, then I'll just have this function to store item in the global state. So we'll just take this, and so let's get started by taking this to the dashboard here. All right, after taking that away, we need to take all of this into the function that creates it, right? Then we don't need this anymore. We don't need to store anything here. And instead of action.payload, we just have exactly when we are done after updating it. So just go here, put it here. So instead of there, we can just have the okay. So we can just have get stop product here. Yeah, and get stop product here. Then we don't need this anymore. So we just lifted everything we had instead of creating the product directly from here into the local storage. And then this function we simply call the reducer function, and what the reducer function will simply be doing now is simply storing item in the global state. So we can just take all this one away. So instead of doing this, we can just say what I had before, state dot product dot product. All right, so here we can simply just get the items that are available in the product state. So we have them here. So we can just push dot push. We are pushing action dot payload. All right. So we just have the 10 products stored in the array. So let's see if this will solve that problem. So here we simply call the dispatch function to create the products and also store the item in the global storage. This match function simply store the item in the global state. So let's see if this will solve that problem. So we no longer have item here. So let us create. Let me delete this one. So let's just and make sure we refresh this. So let's just call this iPhone 15 Pro Max. Description. Let's get from here. Let's get image from here. Right from here. Let's get quantity, 12 quantity. So let's get true. Let's get to 100. Let's create. Perfect. You can see we just have one now. Installed here. Good. So that solved the problem. I have one here installed here. And let's see what happens to our global states. Our global state also have just one product. That's good. So this stores the product. Let's create another product. Let's call this one Toyota. Let's just call this one main clothes. Free description. Let's just let's just deal with neck clothes. Let's search for products in pixel. Let's get copy image address. Quantity, let's just say is 10. Availability, let's just say it is first, no longer available. Price is $50. Let's create this. We have two items in the global states for products. And when we go to application, go to our local storage product, we now have two products. This is for the mail, this is for the phone, this is for the mailware. So let's create like 5 products. Let's create lists, watch, description. We use the same description for it. Let's get an image. So just copy the image address. So change the image. Quantity can be 15. Availability is true. Price is 150. Let's create this one. We now have 3 items in local storage and same 3 items in, let's see, in the global state. This is the one fetching the global state, that is state.product. All right, so we have 3 now. So let's create, let's see what will. Male shoes, the same description. Let's get an image for this. So let's just copy the image address, change the image address, quantity 10, availability true, price, let's just say 200. So let's create this. It should be the 4th one. So let's create this one, handbag. So let's get this image. Same description, quantity, just say 13. Availability, let's just say true. Price, let's just say 50. So we have 5 now. So let's create the last one. Let's create a Samsung phone. Samsung S24 Ultra. Let's just get a phone, smartphone. Let's just take this one. Let's say 5. Let's say 250. So this will be the 6th product created. And if you go to application local storage, we also have 6 products. You can see there are 6 now. So we've created this and you can see it's working. If you want to clear this anytime you create, you can always do that from just uncomment this and clear it. So how do we display this now? Now that I've created this, if we refresh this page, you can see that we will lose the state that we have here. So let's look at the state we had here. State of product is empty. However, if you check your application local storage, product is still here, 5 products. So anytime we refresh this, we'll be fetching this item from here. That's what we need to do. So to do that, we'll just go to use context. All right, so to ensure that the product global state is constantly in sync with the local storage, we can just update this place. So we can come here and say JSON to get the item directly from local storage. So JSON dot some dot pass. So we can say local storage dot get item and we're looking for products, and say a string or an empty string, an empty array. All right, so this way, whenever we refresh the products, whenever we refresh our browser, we'll just source the values from the local storage, and if it's not available, just pass in an empty string. Probably we've deleted the item from local storage, so it's instead of giving you null. So if you come here, as you can see, we now have state.product now have the item from local storage. So if you refresh, you can see the item from the local storage is being populated into the global state immediately. All right, so this means it's only when we refresh the page that we access the local storage. Every other time within the application, we access every item from the state.product. All right, so now when you go to home, you can display the items here. So let's go back to home and we can remove this. We don't need this actually. Okay, we can leave it and just render the items here. So let's go to home. Home components, there's it. So we don't need the login. So we can remove these buttons are actually hidden, so let's just remove them. And this login button, can remove it. So home div just starts from here. So we have this home div. It's coming from here. So 650 can make it 400. All right, so let's see how it looks like. Okay, so we can also change the product to the image to something like this. So let's just look for shopping. Yes, let's use this one. Copy image address, changes. Okay, so we can display the product here. So let's go back to home page. Then right here, let's first column, and let's just have this here. So we need to have states, access to states. We have states, so we can say states dot product dot map. So we can say product index. So here have a div key index plus product.id. So now we have this. We can have a class here. It's going to be flex, and it's going to be flex column. The array that will have the items being listed. So the first one we want to point out is image. So let's call the image class. Right, image tag. All right, this image tag. So we can say src source, and for the source we'll be targeting the product dot image. We need a class name, width, let's just say 96, height, let's just say 96. Okay, Good. So we have them listed this way. So what else can we do? So instead of making this flex column, we can make it this way, then say flex wrap. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can also make it a grid. So let's try grid. So we can just remove flex and set it grid, and grid item grid column 3. Good. So I prefer the grid. And the image, we need size of the image. So let's just say gap 2, and let's try full width. Good. So we have this gap here. So let's say gap of 5. So let's say gap of 5. Yeah. Let's reduce the height to something like this. Now it's something like 70 to 2. Alright, so we can see this product being listed here, and even if we refer the page, we're always going to have this product from here, and that's exactly what I explained to you what's going on. On the context here, we are picking the item directly from the local storage. Okay, so so this is not a CSS class, then let's just have this. So let's just have this here, somewhere around here. Good. So we have this now. It's perfect this way. So in that case, we can have another div down here, so we can push. We can take all of this out and put it here. Perfect. So we can have this now. Then let's create the space down, like padding bottom. We use 10 or 9. Let's make it 20. Padding bottom 20. So we have this space now. Okay. So let's create more stuff. Oh, we're not done. We need item name. So down here we can create a p tag, and here we can have product dot so here we can have product name. Okay, product name here. So if you check it now, you see the name is actually showing here. So I have to create another div here and give the class name of w full, and then I can add a padding here, padding of like 3. So now you can see the product names are here. So next we can have the description, or let's say price. So if we have that, we can have this one. However, we need to have flex column here, so everything can roll down. So here we can look at the price. So let's look at this. So here we can have this and say You can just have dollar, then sign here. You can say product dot price. All right, so we can have this. See the prices are showing. What else? Quantity. So let's have quantity. So we can have here quantity. Then you can say products quantity. Availability. Let's see if it's available. Well, we don't need to say if it's available or not here. We can use availability for filter. So what about description? Let's have description. Description. All right. So let's have a border for everything. So if you want to have a border for everything, the border has to have a border for everything. The border has to start from here. So each of them will have borders. We can have border. So let's check it out and see. So you can see the border now. Yeah. So let's create px4 something here. Then let's just create p4 from up, down, left, right. Up, down, left, right. So something like this. Perfect. Let's create a shadow. Shadow md. So you can see the shadow. Let's make the image dark a little. Image should be dark a little. So let's look at image dark. Is image dark? So let's just add style, and we're looking at filter. Brightness 50%. Let's see if this would work. Okay, let me get the true CSS class for this. Okay, so the image is a bit dark now. This is the right CSS class for it. So this makes the image dark, so you can see, well, this looks good. So this, your e-commerce site, then we need something like add item to cart. So we want, when I hover on this, we have something like add item to cart, or we can have that here. So let's have the button to add item to cart here. So if we want to do that, to below here, somewhere around here, so we can just have div. So we can have a span, and we can have a button, right? Maybe a button is okay. Should we use the button tag? The button components, button components. All right, so somewhere here we can say button name is here. Add. So add. So here we can have class. We can have w full, flex, justify content center, margin top, let's say 5. Perfect. So when you click add, this item gets added to the cart. So basically that's what we're doing. So this is how it works, and now this is what the user used to shop. Okay, so subsequent videos I'll create where we can view the items around here, then we can delete it. Or right here as well, we'll have a button that will delete the product, something around here. We'll need to create a role for that. Okay, but this is basically what we want to create. And when we click here, we'll add the item, and another video I'll create how you can have edit button or delete button that you can use to delete it if you have a role of an admin. But this video is already long, so I will stop it here, but this is exactly what works. We'll continue in the next video and add this item to the carts.